Good afternoon, everyone. Logan Stout here bringing you the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic from Corinth High School in Corinth, Mississippi. This is the home of the Warriors of Corinth High School, but the action that you will see in front of you right now is going to be the Tigers from Mount Pleasant High School in Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, about a 2-hour drive for them to get here, and the Aggies of Kossuth High School from right here in Corinth. Kossuth comes in with a record of 4-1. They are a 3A school here in the state of Mississippi, and they have a couple guys that can absolutely fill it up. For one, Rick Hold'em, number 25. You'll see him in the starting lineup. Rick led the state in three-pointers made last year. He is a 6'2 guard and is a junior, and he is averaging 20 points a game so far in this season. It's early on, but a good indication that he's going to be their main scorer with that 20 points a game. Complementing him would be on the wing Nick Wilcher. He's a 6'4 wing, so he has got some size to be on the wing. He's just a sophomore, and he's averaging 17 points a game and 7 boards to go with that. So there's a couple key players to watch. As for the Mount Pleasant Tigers, we'd love to tell you a whole lot about them, but we really can't, and here's why. The Mount Pleasant Tigers haven't played a game this year. They are 0-0 on the year, and it's hard to formulate a scouting report when you don't have any stats or anything like that to look at. But what we can tell you is that there's only one freshman and 2 sophomores on the roster. I was talking to some of the coaches before the game. They want to stress ball control to their team. They want to limit their turnovers. That's something the Aggies of Kossuth have done, as they average only 8 turnovers a game. They have lots of size on their team that can look over defenses, and that's what they want to specialize in. The starting lineups have been announced here. We will get you the starters as action begins here in the first quarter. Again, you're watching Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic. You're watching it on the SUVtv.com. It's the Aggies and the Tigers, and we are ready to go. The opening tip is controlled by Mount Pleasant, saved out of bounds, and it'll be, he saved it off a Kossuth player's leg, and so it will be Mount Pleasant basketball to start this. Running the point duties for them is Jordan Woodson along with Jashawn Miller. They will kind of share point guard duties, and they face a big, tall 2-3 zone from Kossuth, and it's an active 2-3 zone that over on the first possession. Quickly back the other way in transition. About the quick. But now they're going to run an offense. Their head coach calls out a will offense. So you'll see some movement and some picks off of this. It is a 2-3 zone that they face as well. So dueling 2-3 zones to start this one. Ball movement around the outside. A smooth-looking three-point shot from Rick Hold'em. He led the state in three-pointers made last year, and he's well on his way this year. A smooth shot, nothing but net. Give him 3, and back the other way, Mount Pleasant. It'll be Jashawn Miller setting things up against a 3-2 now. They've switched it up. No, it's still a 2-3. It's just active and aggressive. This will be an interesting zone to watch from Kossuth because they are big, long, athletic, and you can see they're moving that zone around quite a bit. It's hard to actually catch what the formation is without looking at the starting setup for that D. Miller kicks it over on the wing. A 3-ball back the other way is good. A 3 for Walter Crawford. And so we're tied at 3, 6.5 to play in the first quarter, just getting underway. Game number 2 of 14 in this Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic. It promises to be a really exciting event. If you're in the Corinth, Mississippi area, come out and watch a game, or just catch it online right here, the SUVtv.com. That's what this broadcast is powered by, the sports utility vehicle, and some fine people to work with. This is my first experience with them, but they are on top of things. They got things set up and looking good for viewers at home. Kossuth now off the deflected rebound. They got the ball back, got another opportunity. 3-ball, no good. In transition, we've got a turnover. That went through the hands of Bradley Gill in transition. Mount Pleasant tells you right there they want to run. If they can get a rebound, they think they're faster than Kossuth. They're not bigger than Kossuth, that's for sure, but they're faster, and so they're going to want to try to get out and run, get some easy baskets in transition. Hodem on the wing, and now up top, a wide open look is wide right, no good. 2 Aggies battling for the rebound, and they're going to get a foul underneath. It was Rick Hodem, the three-point shooter, that got the rebound and went up and got fouled. No good on his first attempt. The first game saw lots of missed free throws. The trend continues in the second. He does get the back end of the 2 free throws, so Hodem has 4. In the lane, a smooth-looking move, but it somehow came out. That was a penetrate and floater from Walter Crawford, who has 3 already. And Crawford's going to get a deflection on the other end, knock that out of bounds to disrupt the shot attempt from Wilcher. And the Aggies will inbound under their own basket. Let's see if they have a play against zone defense. It's Hodem in the corner for 3. Off the front iron, no good. It's Gill back the other way. Goes with the right hand, takes on pretty much the whole team and puts it in. Good, strong take. Excuse me, that's Jordan Woodson. I thought it was Bradley Gill, but that was Jordan Woodson. Kind of have a similar build, those two. Woodson with his first 2 of the game. Hodem on the wing. Thought about another 3-point attempt. This time passes good, interior passing, and an easy 2. Weston Bobo. He's on the board, a 6-5 game. Early on in game number 2 of the Thanksgiving Classic. Mount Pleasant being patient against the zone, trying to solve the length. 3 in the corner, front iron, no good. Chase down, Mount Pleasant with an offensive rebound. It's hard to rebound out of a zone at times, even if you're big. Kossuth learned it there. A double pump wild shot attempt in the lane. That was Jashawn Miller. No good. The Aggies are going to push the other way. Wild pass attempt out of bounds. A kind of a careless turnover there from Nick Wilcher. Wilcher, a sophomore guard, averaging 17 points a game. And now we're going to have a charge out of control in the lane was Jordan Woodson. He wanted another 2 on the inside, but he's going to get called for the charge. Aggie defender was in place with feet planted. Got a 2-3 zone. You got Rick Hodem on the wing, one of the best 3-point shooters in the state. And he's going to catch and pop. Off front iron, no good. He's 1 for 4 from downtown. He's not scared to shoot it, that's for sure. And now nobody stops the ball in transition, but the layup is missed. Aggies with the rebound. They caught a break there, straddling the half-court line. And now into the front court. It's a turnover. Active hands from Jordan Woodson. Jordan Woodson is everywhere in this first 5 minutes of this one. Getting deflections, steals, got a basket. And now on the wing, a shot attempt from Gill is way too strong, no good. On the offensive rebound, Tez Rogers, no good as well. Hodem in the corner, just lets it fly. That one was blocked, deflected. Out getting that block was Jordan Woodson. Got a hand on it. And now we see subs coming in for Kossuth. Bo Lee comes in, as well as point guard Dusty Roberts. Mount Pleasant's going to sub as well to counter that. It'll be Travell Bailey coming in. Bailey will run the point guard duties against that big, tall 2-3 zone from Kossuth. A wide open look. They'll take the 3, and that's what the Aggies are content to give up the 3. They're going to make Mount Pleasant make a few of those before they close out. Rogers in the corner for 3, no good. And back up. Boy, this is a three-point shootout right now. The only problem is not many of them are going in. Neither team finding their range. And both teams awfully sloppy to start this one as well. Bradley Gill loses handle in transition. And another turnover for Mount Pleasant. I want to say we've had 7 three-point shot attempts, both teams combined already, and only 2 have gone in. Might be more than 7, maybe 8 or 9. This will be just inside the three-point line. Another exterior shot. Left it short. Layup's no good. 10 for Bo Lee. That's persistence. Give him for persistence there, and that draws a timeout from Mount Pleasant. Gives us a second to thank our sponsors of this broadcast. We want to thank Powerade for their help in putting on this broadcast, as well as the Hampton Inn. A special thank you to Physicians Urgent Care right here in Corinth, Mississippi, as well as Crossover. Do us a favor and stop by our sponsors to thank them for sponsoring this broadcast and this event. They make it possible for us to bring this broadcast that's powered by SUVtv. Makes it possible for us to bring that to you in your living room or wherever you may be watching online. Mount Pleasant now finally gets some penetration into the zone and a kick out. A much better looking shot off the glass and in. I'm not sure if Travell Bailey called glass on that or not, but it's good, and we are all square at 8 points apiece. Kossuth and Mount Pleasant, a Mississippi and Tennessee battle here in game number 2. In the lane now, an easy 2, just kind of bullying his way in there is Bo Lee. Bo Lee with 4. Mount Pleasant working it around, and there's some penetration. That's what you want against the zone if you can get it. Drawing the foul, that's Walter Crawford. He'll go to the line for 2. Crawford, a strong move there with a strong jump stop. You love to see high school players use a good fundamental jump stop. That's something that they don't teach very much these days, but Walter Crawford used it, gets to the line, and misses the front end. The second on the way. In and out, no good. Crawford comes up empty. 2 free throw attempts. Here comes Kossuth with a 2-point advantage. They lead 10-8 with a minute to play here in the first quarter. If you're joining us online and wondering why we're not at Kossuth or Mount Pleasant, either one, that's because this is the Thanksgiving Classic from Corinth, Mississippi. How about the rejection? High to swat that one away was Crawford. Loose ball. Mount Pleasant has it, and here they come the other way. It's a 2-on-2 break, a spin move, a floater off the glass, and a smooth move from Walter Crawford. He's got 5, and we're all square at 10. Mount Pleasant in their first action of the year. They have a record of 0-0. Coach joked with me that they are undefeated, and they plan to keep it that way. This is a good record for them, he said. Hodem now up top. He is the 3-point threat, although he's only 1 for 4 from downtown in this first quarter. He hit the first shot he took, and I thought we were in store for a 3-point treat from him. But with 10 seconds to play, Kossuth with the basketball and a tie game 10-all. They turn it over.
That's what we held the ball for. Throw it out of the way.
I'm going to get a kick out of Scotty Shettles over here, the head coach for Kossuth. Back the other way, just a pull-up 3 at the buzzer. No good from Crawford. And even though a buzzer doesn't sound, we're just going to blow it dead. And that's the end of the first quarter, all square at 10. We're going to take the break. Logan Stout bringing you this broadcast powered by SUVtv. This is the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic from Corinth High School right here in Corinth, Mississippi. Kossuth will inbound to start the second quarter of play. We've got a good one on our hands. The score is 10-all. Kossuth and Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, and Kossuth from right here in Corinth, Mississippi. Rick Hodem, 1 for 5 from downtown now. Led the state in three-pointers last year and is certainly not afraid to put it up. I wouldn't be either if I shot the ball that well, but he's struggling early on in this one, 1 for 5. Jashawn Miller back in the game for Mount Pleasant. He was out momentarily there at the end of the first quarter. He's back in to start the second. A skip pass into the corner, off the hands, a turnover. It was off the hands of Melandix McClure. Melandix, a 5'11" junior forward, couldn't handle that pass in the corner. Nick Wilcher will bring it up. Jacob Wilcher also on this roster. They are brothers. And here's Nick in the lane. Left hand, a tough shot. Just kind of willed his way in there and put that one in. Interesting fact about the brother, Jacob. We'll get to that here in just a second. We have a steal from Kossuth, but stepping on the out-of-bounds line was Matthew Stewart. Good hustle to get the steal, but couldn't stop his momentum before he stepped on the sideline here in front of us. A 2-3 zone that it's almost like they match up out of the 2-3 zone. They're very aggressive with that. They're not afraid to get out of that zone territory. Each player shot attempt on the inside. Rebound. Nowhere to go. A nice kick out and an easy jump shot off left iron, no good. A good shot attempt, though. Bradley Gill had a wide open look. Here's Wilcher the other way. He's got Hodem on the wing. Left hand in the lane. Good looking shot, no good. Just a little strong. Two Mount Pleasant's players have it. They knock it away from each other, and the loose ball foul goes against Mount Pleasant. Kossuth with the basketball. Bo Lee diving on the floor to draw that foul. Frustrating if you're the Tigers there. You haven't played a game all year, and you can tell their chemistry's a little off. They have not played their first game yet. This is their first game, and they're going to make them pay for it. Nick Wilcher, he's got 5 now. He's got a floater in the lane and now a three-pointer from the top of the key. His 5 points make it a 15-10 lead. All 5 of his points coming here in the second quarter. Here's a skip pass that is deflected and stolen. Quickly back the other way. A stop layup was off front iron, no good. He tried to slam on the brakes. That was Matthew Stewart, a little out of control. Cleaning it up, though, was Nick Wilcher. He's fouled on the putback attempt, and he'll go to the line for 2. Front end, no good. Tell you, something in the gym, I don't know, but the free throw shooting in the first game was very poor, and it has continued to game number 2. This is game number 2 of 14. We will play 7 today and 7 tomorrow. 21 teams from 5 different states. It's a really cool event they've put together here in Corinth. Wilcher now has 6. It's a 16-10 advantage for the Aggies of Kossuth, and there's an easy penetration and bucket for Tez Rogers. Tez just kind of tiptoed in the lane. It wasn't contested at all. Got an easy layup. Wilcher, a penetrating kick. Good baseline jumper. You know, Kossuth will take that look every time. It's a wide open 10-foot jumper, just didn't go. Nifty little pass there on the other end. Thought there was a foul. No call. Putback is in, and a little momentum for Jordan Woodson and the Mount Pleasant Tigers. He's got 4, and the lead is now just 2, 16-14. The reach in, ball knocked away from Rogers. Another reach in, and now we have a jump ball underneath. That's a good closeout for Tez Rogers. Tez Rogers coming over help side defense, got his hands on that ball and forced the jump ball, and it's Mount Pleasant basketball, alternating possession. Deshaun Miller, that's Bradley Gill swinging on the wing. Now entry pass, and we've got a charge. I'm not sure if Jordan Woodson is big enough to plow over a defender like he just did, but he's going to get the call. Was Bo Lee, I believe, on the interior with his feet planted, just threw his body backwards after the contact, and he's going to get the charge call. That doesn't work every time, but it will work every once in a while. Aggies with the ball and a 2-point lead. Hodem thought about the three. He's already taken 5. 1 for 5 from downtown. But he is a player to watch, averaging 20 points a game. Good interior passing. Hook shot swatted away, though. As good a passing as that was, it was better defense by Mount Pleasant on the interior. Crawford, skip pass. Back to Crawford. Uses the jab step. Now we got some motion offense against the zone. A power dribble, layup attempt, no good, and I think they're going to call basket interference. That's exactly what they're going to call. The basket will count. I believe they credit. I believe they're going to credit Walter Crawford for that too. His layup was clearly going to miss, but I want to say that was Weston Bobo that had his hand up there, had it in the net. He did not touch the shot, but his hand was in the net. Scotty Shettles over here to our left, the head coach for the Kossuth Aggies, has a few words with the official, tells him he disagrees, and Hodem is 1 for 6 from downtown. He let the 3 go from the wing. The mark of a good shooter, though, is that they will keep shooting. That's in the words of Ray Allen. If anybody would know, it would be him. In the lane, that's Tez Rogers penetrating. Tez has had some success getting to the rim. He tries it again and will go to the line for 2. First one from Tez Rogers. Back iron, no good. Woeful free throw shooting in the tournament so far. 16-16 is your score. Kossuth and Mount Pleasant all knotted up.
Hey, box one.
Second free throw, no good. Nick Wilcher will clear. Wilcher with the left hand. He's bumped and fouled. It's going to be a hand check out top.
Hey, 6.
Substitution for the Aggies checking in will be Weston Bobo. Oh, a good interior inbound play, but it's swatted away. Mount Pleasant, several block shots in this one already. Cleaned up and put in. Stewart puts that one in. Matthew Stewart, his first 2 of the game, and the Aggies on top by 2. Pass deflected. Tez Rogers recovers. Good ball movement. Going baseline now. It's cut off. Back up top to Deshaun Miller. He'll set up the offense in the corner. Wide open 3. Nothing but net. Walter Crawford. He is leading all scores. He has 10. Crawford, a 6-foot junior with a nice shooting stroke. Wilcher now behind the back move. Drops it off. Baseline jumper. Too strong. No good. Bobo wants that shot again for sure. He was wide open from about 6 feet. Probably a good idea to close out on Crawford. He's got 10 points. He's got the ball on the wing, spins baseline. Nice move. He's fouled and almost gets the and one to go. A little emotion from him. Nice move as he went baseline. If we can get the free throw shooting figure out for either team, that'll give them a distinct advantage. Both teams rough from the line, and that trend continues. I'm doing all I can to jinx these guys and talk about how bad the free throw shooting is, but it's not helping. They just continue to miss at the line. Crawford will get one more crack at it. And that one rolls in. Crawford now with 11. A 20-18 advantage for Mount Pleasant. They've trailed pretty much the whole game until now. They've gotten a lead. And Kossuth's going to work it inside. Stewart loses control. Back the other way. Here comes Mount Pleasant pushing the tempo. They haven't had an opportunity to do that very much. In the lane. Nice little move. Rolls off back iron, no good. Kossuth, rather, is going to push it themselves. A pull-up three for Rick Hodum. Front iron, no good. Make it 1 for 7 for Hodum. Hodum a little frustrated. The offensive rebound was corralled and put back up by Matthew Stewart. He draws the foul and will go to the line for 2. First one for him is good, 20-19 the score. Kossuth with a chance to tie it at the line. 1 minute, 43 seconds to play here in the first half. We were knotted at 10 after the first quarter. We're on pace to be knotted at 20 after the second, but the second free throw is no good. 1.5 minutes to play. Mount Pleasant will work it around in the corner. This is Jashawn Miller. Bradley Gill now, and Miller just playing pitch and catch back and forth. Miller, nice bounce pass on the inside. Here's Rogers. He shuffled his feet before he went up. So says the official on the baseline. I didn't have a very good look at that, but they'll call a walk and a turnover for Mount Pleasant. It was a good look for Miller. Unfortunate that it resulted in a turnover. Nick Wilcher now into the front court. Kicks it on the wing to Stewart. Entry pass down to Bobo. Bobo is fouled before he can get a shot up. And it should be the 1-and-1 for Kossuth. Kossuth Aggies are 4-1 on the year. They've started out to a hot start. That's what they wanted. They are struggling at the line. Weston Bobo misses the front end of a 1-and-1. And here's Miller, 47 seconds to play in the second quarter. I wonder if Mount Pleasant's content to hold this for the last shot of the first half and whether or not Kossuth will allow that. No, they won't. They're going to trap, try to speed up this offense. This is the guy you want to corral. That's Crawford. He lost control, but then is fouled by Matthew Stewart. Crawford, no doubt, wants this shot here. He's got 11 and the hot hand. 30 seconds to play in the second quarter. They're still going to trap, Kossuth is. Here's Crawford. Crawford being trapped by Rogers. And there's a deflection and a steal. Wilcher comes up with it. Now Stewart into the front court. 15 seconds to play in the first half. How about the steal from Crawford? He's going to play one-on-one. No, he dishes it. It's deflected. Loose ball on the floor. Crawford picks it up. And a 3-second call, which you hardly ever see in transition. But the ref thought that was the way to go there, and so that's what he calls. 6 seconds to play. We're going to let this one roll to keep the clock from starting. Here's Stewart now with the right hand. Work against Crawford. He's in the lane. Kicks it out. 3 from Wilcher in the corner. No good. Back iron, no good. And we will head to the break. Mount Pleasant clinging to a 1-point advantage. It was 10-10 at the end of the first quarter. It's now 20-19 at the end of the second. 2 evenly matched teams, Mount Pleasant and Kossuth. We will bring you the second half and maybe some stats from the first half your way next. This is the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic in Corinth, Mississippi. This broadcast is powered by SUVtv.
Crossover intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the fourth quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further with an interactive shot chart that lets you visualize the data. Filter by player, quarter, makes or misses, and click on any shot to watch the corresponding video. Crossover intelligence will keep you from spending hours in the film room and get you back to actually coaching. Together, we can turn smarter video into more wins for your team. That's the crossover effect.
on me. He's got a really tight rotation. What's that? He looked good at the free throw. Looked good at the free throw line, but are you doing a? You gonna show anything, or you just want me to bring it back and roll? Let's do it. Well, welcome back to Corinth High School. This is the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic in Corinth, Mississippi. This is a very cool event, and you look around and you're starting to see more and more people start to make their way into this this high school gymnasium, and the buzz in the gym will start to generate a little more. We'll start seeing some college coaches come in, and then we'll have some really highly touted prospects come in later on in the day. That's Rick Hodum starting the second half for Kossuth. He was 1 for 6 from downtown in the first half, and now he's 1 for 1 in the second half. Hodum needs to get on track for Kossuth to have a chance. He averages 20 points a game and only had 4 in the first half. Kossuth leads 22-20 now with that 3, and back the other way for Mount Pleasant, just Sean Miller. Give him 2 with that mid-range J. And you start to see offenses starting to get in a rhythm maybe here in the second half. Might be a little more higher scoring, a little free-flowing. Hodum thought about another 3, penetrate, stop, pop. We were asking about the mid-range jumper during halftime. Well, there it is. Rick Hodum, quick 5 points to start the second half. He seems to be on track. Kossuth up 24-22. Mount Pleasant working against the zone that they struggled going against in the first half. Everybody but Walter Crawford. He's on the wing. Crawford had led all scorers with, I believe, 11 in the first half. Yes, that's right, 11 points in the first half for Crawford. He's flashing in the middle of that zone, but they can't get him the ball. Miller on the wing. Mount Pleasant content to take a lot of clock off here. Remember in high school, no shot clock, so they really could do this for quite a while. Crawford on the wing. He's going to get a pick, penetrating the lane. Thought he was fouled. Gave it up. Now Miller, a wild shot off glass and in. Just Sean Miller has all 4 points here in the second half for Mount Pleasant, and we're knotted at 24. Hodum in the corner. He's trapped immediately. They don't want him shooting anymore. Rogers comes away with the steal. Rogers, big man's going to push it, and that's why they don't want the big man pushing it. He makes a bounce pass at the feet of a fellow Tiger. It rolls out of bounds, and that's a turnover and missed opportunity. Wilcher brings it into the front court. Nick Wilcher averaging 17 points a game. Pretty quiet in the first half with only 6. Nice pump fake, gets to the lane, uses the left hand but misses the bunny. It's deflected out of bounds. Mount Pleasant basketball. Wilcher wants that one back for sure. Miller up top with the right hand. He's got Gill in the corner. And this is Crawford up top, 4-3. Rolls out, no good. Last touch by Gill, out of bounds. Kossuth basketball. The second half started quickly on offense for both teams, but it's kind of slowed down since then. It's what zone defenses will do unless you're shooting it well from the outside. 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. All square at 24. Wild shot attempt, but it worked out just like a pass, and another bunny missed by Kossuth. That one was Bo Lee. Here's Gill, goes baseline, just has it swatted by Wilcher. That's Jacob Wilcher swatting that one. I think he swatted that flat-footed. He didn't even have to jump. Gill in the corner. And now Miller will head up top to start the offense. He's got Crawford on the opposite wing. Here he is. Lots of space for Crawford. He passed out of that shot opportunity and got a turnover to his name as a result. Here's Wilcher in transition. If you're wondering why I'm saying Wilcher every other player, it seems, because we have brothers on the floor. That was 24, Nick Wilcher. Jacob Wilcher just checked out. He's number 23. They may be brothers, but they look nothing alike, so that helps the broadcaster out. Matthew Stewart will inbound for Kossuth in front of a Go number 22 sign she was holding up. Fan of his on the front row right behind him. Little sister, says someone from the Kossuth bench over here. I appreciate that. No wonder she has a Go number 22 sign. In transition, nice pass fake and floater. How about that move? Should have been and one. Jashawn Miller drew a lot of contact. He's got all 6 points for Mount Pleasant in the second half off the nifty pass fake. A good look there and a good finish in traffic. 26-24. With the left hand is Hodem. Kind of an interesting hook shot runner there, and ended up falling in the lap of Bo Lee. He's not going to miss any more bunnies. He puts that one in. He's got 6. And we're tied at 26. Two very evenly matched teams. Should be a good finish. 3:45 to play in the third. Stolen by Hodem on a casual skip pass. In transition, another basket in around the hoop. That's Matthew Stewart. Matthew Stewart very opportunistic there. Crawford. Mount Pleasant now looking at a deficit. They trail by 2. Here's Miller up top. Has an entry pass. He's going to take it. And a good opposite side look. Shot up, no good. Bailey banked one in the first half. No such luck there. Miller strips the ball out of Wilcher's hands in transition. And it'll stay Kossuth basketball. The Aggies inbounding under their own basket with a 2-point lead. 3 minutes to play in the third. Wilcher up top. Trying to set the offense. Loses control as he drives to the right side. Here comes Travell Bailey. He looks ahead to Crawford. He's their leading scorer. A dump down, good interior passing, but Crawford can't hang on. Tez Rogers with a good look there. Maybe a little too hot for Rogers to handle. It was a pretty hard bounce pass. Checking in for the Aggies, be Evan Cooper. I believe he's getting his first minutes. He'll replace Stewart. Emmett Burke will also check in. The substitution, player substituting impeded my vision there. I didn't see what it was, but Lorenzo Brown gets 2. I apologize to those of you who saw that and are wondering why I didn't say anything. When you're courtside, when you're sitting courtside, it's a great seat. You get to be right part of the action, but sometimes a player or a ref will get in the way, and that's all right. I'd rather be on the court. Entry pass. Here's Rogers banging down low. He draws the foul. That draws applause from head coach Derek Boyd on the Mount Pleasant bench. He loves seeing Rogers just bully his way in there against some taller defenders. They may be taller, but he's wider. Rogers at the line. Kind of an interesting rotation as that was rotating left to right out of his hand instead of front to back. But the result is good. A 1-point advantage for the Tigers from Mount Pleasant. And he got them both. That's a rare thing to see today. Seems like everybody has struggled at the line, but Rogers calmly knocks down both. Wilcher dribbled it off his foot. That'll be a turnover for Kossuth. Some sloppy basketball at times here. Kossuth 4-1 on the year. They are in the 3A level in Mississippi. Mount Pleasant is on the 1A level in Tennessee. So size-wise, Mount Pleasant would technically be the upset pick here. They lead by 2. Good look. Crawford goes baseline, tried to jam it, but came up just short. Loose ball. Mount Pleasant regains control. Here's Crawford in the lane. Jump stop. He's got men all over him. And we had one ref call jump, the other one call foul, and they're going to call jump ball. hard to tell from our vantage point whether it was all leather or not. Crawford's got a wide open look in the corner. Kossuth lucky there that Crawford didn't just drain that one. And the Aggies have a 2-point advantage and the basketball. Nobody comes back to get the ball. Wilcher's wondering where his help is. Here's Hodem now into the front court. He's got 5 points in the second half. 9 in the game. Oh, a wide open backdoor cut. That was Evan Cooper cutting to the hole, but a miscommunication. He was popping back out, and Bo Lee threw him the ball anyway. Travell Bailey running the point. The 5'7" junior. Bailey up top, banked in a 3 earlier. He's going to swing it to Crawford. Back up top to Bailey. Bailey, they're just going to work it around the outside, and now a penetration and a nice floater. Bradley Gill gets that one to go. Kind of short-armed that thing, but that gives Mount Pleasant their largest lead of the game, and it's 4, 32-28. Hodem. Got defenders all over him, but now they back off, and Hodem says, thank you. I'll take 3 more. You do not leave the state's leading 3-point shooter alone. They had him covered up and then backed off for some unexplainable reason. Crawford now is going to hold it up top, and it looks like Kossuth, like they did last quarter, are going to trap out of this look so that Mount Pleasant can't just comfortably hold the ball and wait for the last shot. They are trapping. Crawford kicks it out. Thought about the 3 in the corner. Now Crawford on the wing. 5 seconds to play. Time to make a move. Crawford, crossover, pull up. Got it. Big 3 from Crawford to end the third quarter, giving Mount Pleasant a 35-31 advantage. Mount Pleasant on top of the Aggies from Kossuth. And we'll take the break. As we head to the quarter, let's show you some of our sponsors here real quick. We want to thank Powerade for their sponsorship of this event, as well as the folks at Hampton Inn, Physicians Urgent Care, and Crossover. We especially thank those sponsors, and we want to thank the folks at SUVtv for powering this broadcast. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in 30 seconds. Welcome back to the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic. A reminder, on deck, it'll be Velma Jackson and Haywood County going at it. Haywood County from Tennessee and Velma Jackson from right here in Mississippi. It's going to be an athletic affair in that one. Some prospects being looked at from some pretty big colleges in that one. We got to finish this one first, though. A turnover for Kossuth. Mount Pleasant with a 4-point advantage and the ball. It's their largest lead of the game. Crawford, he has the hot hand, goes baseline, elevates, and can't get it to go. He wants that one back for sure. The baseline drive, and he just came up empty. Crawford was looking for that would have been his 15th point of the game. Instead, it's Kossuth basketball. The Aggies in desperate need of some offense, trailing by 4 with 7:20 to play. Haven't scored in a while. Working it around the outside. It's Hodem up top for 3. Left it short. It almost rolled in. Skying for the rebound. That's Jordan Woodson, and he's going to push tempo. Nice bounce pass. Shot up by Gill, no good. He short-armed it. The height from Kossuth bothering that shot without them ever touching it. Hodem, wide open in transition. He got it. I don't think he's touched the rim on any of his makes. His misses, of course, have, but on his makes, he has been right on the money. Hodem now with 4 threes in the game. He started the game 1 for 6 from downtown. Here's Rogers in the lane. Good look on the inside. That's good offense. Jordan Woodson finishes that one. Rogers put it right in his lap. 37-34, a 3-point advantage for Mount Pleasant. Here comes Kossuth. Hodum in the corner, left him open. He got another one. How does Rick Hodum find space against this defense? You would think Mount Pleasant would be running a almost a box-and-one look against him. And with that three, Derek Boyd, the coach for Mount Pleasant, says, give me a full time out. And we are going to have a replay. I'm not used to being able to use the luxury of replays on this. This is an SUVtv replay brought to you by Powerade. You can see Hodum just kind of floating on the baseline there, gets some space in the corner, and it doesn't take him long to get that release off. That is something that scouts probably love about Rick Hodum's release. It's not a real high release, but he's a junior, and he's already got the quick trigger figured out. Hodum knocking down his 5th three of the game, and I've worn this stat out, but one of the coaches told me before the game, Rick Hodum led the state in 3-point field goals made last year. So the guy can shoot it. He should not be lost if you are a defense. So something else, Kossuth, they average only 8 turnovers per game, but Mount Pleasant has managed to force several more than that. So that's one of the things they hang their head on is few turnovers, and they also score 70 points a game. Well, we're in the 4th quarter, and they only have 37. So hats off to Mount Pleasant. They've played some great defense in this game, and we're set for a really good finish here. Rogers in the lane, no good. All square, 37 all. In the corner, baseline Jay, left way short for Crawford. That's his worst looking shot of the game. He's been hot for the most part. Back the other way for Kossuth in transition. Hodum, he wants to shoot, but he's got a defender all over him, and that forces a turnover. Here comes Crawford in transition. One-on-one with Wiltshire, and he climbs the ladder and lays it in. I'm not sure how that's a no call as Wiltshire and Crawford collided, but Crawford just took the elevator, went right over top. In the corner, 3 on the way from Stewart, no good. If it's not Hodum shooting the 3, it doesn't look as good if you're Kossuth. Lob to the rim, and that is going to be a technical foul. He didn't get off the rim. The lob was to Jordan Woodson. He was there, the ball was there, but he could not corral that in. And hanging on the rim afterwards gives him a technical foul. This is a very key technical foul as well. And in transition the other way, that's Crawford. That's your replay of him climbing the ladder on Wiltshire. It was an impressive athletic move there. And you know who they sent to the line for sure on the technical, Rick Hodum, their shooter, and he drains both to tie it up. That technical foul could play a big role in the outcome of this game. Hodum knocks them both down. It's a tie game. Kossuth with the basketball. 5:15 to play. Hodum in the corner for 3. In and out, no good, but and one. How about the rebound and putback? Weston Bobo, that is his 4th point of the game, 3rd and 4th points of the game. He'll go to the line for possibly his 5th. The technical foul gave Kossuth 2 points to tie the game, and now they get 2 points off the possession and maybe 3 with the free throw attempt. The free throw from Bobo is good. He's got 5, and the Aggies lead by 3. Here comes Crawford just taking over in the lane. Jump stop, got his own rebound, put it back and was fouled. Walter Crawford really going to work on the Kossuth defense. I tell you, they are 0-0 on the year. Mount Pleasant has not played a game, which means that after this game, Walter Crawford's going to be averaging well over 20 points a game. He's got, we'll have to get the calculator out and get his point total for you here in a second. Crawford at the line. Off front iron, no good. So Mount Pleasant still trails by 1 with the missed free throw. In transition, Rogers, good interior pass. That was a touch pass to Jacob Wilcher, and he gets an easy 2 off the look from Roberts, I'm sorry. Dusty Roberts with the assist. Miller penetrates. Here's Rogers. Good pump fake. Thought he drew contact. No foul. And now we've got a whistle on the floor. I thought it was going to be over the back, but instead, that's a foul against Kossuth. Here's Crawford in the corner. Leads all scorers. Just Sean Miller over to Crawford. He's going to let a 3 go. In and out, no good. Battle for the loose ball. Who wants it more? Mount Pleasant comes up with it. Shot blocked. Crawford and a teammate of his battle for the rebound and lose control. Kossuth with the basketball and a 3-point advantage. Big possession here. Hodem thought about the 3. He's going to dump it on the inside, and a good athletic play. That's Lorenzo Brown coming up with the steal. Brown coming up big here down the stretch for Mount Pleasant. Battling for rebounds and now gets the steal. In the corner, baseline drive, and he walked with it, I believe. No, the whistle is a blocking foul. Bailed him out as he went baseline. That was Jordan Woodson. Miller to inbound. Mount Pleasant trailing by 3. Crawford in the corner. Lobs it up top. It'll be Miller. Timeout. Mount Pleasant, this is a key possession. They're going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll take the break with them. We'll be back with more of the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic. This broadcast is powered by SUVtv. .33 to play in the fourth quarter. Mount Pleasant trailing Kossuth by 3. The Tigers with the basketball, working it around the top. It's Miller over to Crawford. Crawford thought about the 3. They're really sagging off of him. He's made 2 of them in the game. Miller, pass fake. Now bounce in the corner. Skip pass, dangerous to Crawford. Crawford comes up with it. They really sag off. He crosses over, loses his mouthpiece or something, throws it off the court. Now Crawford goes baseline, slips and falls, and I believe they say he stepped on the baseline over there. I don't know what that was that Crawford either fell on or had to get cleaned it up off the court. A ref on the far sideline did. Wilcher in the lane, kicks it to the other Wilcher. This will be Nick on the wing now. Swings it over, Roberts. Into Jacob Wilcher, rolls in, out, and back in again. Jacob Wilcher, he's the Ole Miss signee for baseball. Has signed with Ole Miss to play baseball, not basketball, but he can play basketball as well as he gets 2 on the inside. Lorenzo Brown battling in there, as well as Jordan Woodson, but he has it taken away by Dusty Roberts. A crafty little steal by him. They get it up to Hodem for 3. Left it short, no good. That would have been a dagger. Crawford now in transition. Back the other way into traffic. He's mugged and will go to the line for 2. Crawford was not to be denied on that take in transition. He wanted to get to the rack. Crawford misses the first one. He's got 18 on the afternoon. It's been he and Rick Hodem, 2 main scorers in this game. Hodem doing it from the outside more than anything else. The second from Crawford, no good. Costly misses there, 46-41. Mount Pleasant, 5-point advantage and the basketball. I'm sorry, Kossuth, 5-point advantage and the basketball. Hodum now up top, drawing a double team, dribbles around it. All eyes on Hodum when he has the basketball. He's the shooter. And there's a reach in, almost a steal, but Hodum draws the foul. That was Bradley Gill reaching in. I think it's a good call. Got Hodum around the waist. And the ball did come out. Wilcher to inbound. Minute 49 to play. Kossuth's probably content to run a little clock here. Here's Dusty Roberts. And he's going to be seeing a very aggressive defense. He gets around it. Floater in the lane. Left it short. That's what Mount Pleasant wanted. Woodson with the basketball in transition. Takes on the whole team and misses the layup. It was 1-on-4, and he went to the rim. Hodum with the rebound. And he is fouled by Crawford. Liable to see a ball handling substitution here. And some free throw shooting substitutions for Kossuth. Mount Pleasant may be looking to foul. Down by 5 with a minute and a half to play. There's a back tap, and Miller recovers for Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant, time to get some offense going. They go away from Crawford. Rogers goes baseline, draws the contact and scores. 46-43. And there's a steal on the inbound. Crawford for 3, no good. Back iron, and a timeout for Kossuth. A great timeout for head coach Scotty Shettles. So let's set the stage for you. 46-43 is the score. 30-second timeout for Kossuth. Kossuth leads and has the basketball. They were up by 5. Rogers gets an easy basket underneath. Maybe not easy. Drew some contact and got the basket to cut it to 3. Crawford stole the inbound but missed the three-pointer. Kossuth gets the rebound and then gets a heads-up timeout from the coaching staff. Hodum to inbound. Gets it in. They get it back to Hodum. Not who you want to foul. But they have to foul. There's only a minute and 7 seconds left. Still a one-possession game. The only problem is the guy going to the line is a tremendous shooter. And he has found his rhythm here in the second half. Started the game very cold, 1 for 6 from downtown, but as I said earlier, good shooters just keep shooting. Hodum misses the second, so it's a 4-point advantage for Kossuth. In transition, Mount Pleasant. On the inside, it's Rogers. He's fouled. No, they're going to call a walk. Rogers shuffled his feet. Under a minute now, 57 seconds to play. Kossuth got to get it inbounded. Dangerous pass. Stewart corrals it. Here's Hodum. They don't want to foul Hodum. They get it to Stewart. Stewart, baseball pass, and we have a collision right in front of us. 2 players on the floor. Good hustle there. And good sportsmanship, too. They pat each other on the back. That was Wilcher, the Ole Miss baseball signee. And Jordan Woodson colliding there. And it'll be Wilcher to go to the line, and an inadvertent horn. Maybe not inadvertent. They needed something. We got a 5th foul there on Jordan Woodson, so he will be out. Woodson will finish with 6 points. And a pretty good job defensively. Again, Kossuth averages about 70 points a game as a team. And Mount Pleasant holding them well underneath that. Big free throw from Wilcher. He got that one. Wilcher now with 5. His brother has 6. Left that one short. 1 for 2 from the line. Rogers pushing tempo. Here's Miller. Miller crossing over. Crawford pull up 3. He got it. Stepped right into it. 48-46 is your score. That draws a full timeout from Mount Pleasant. Walter Crawford said we are not done yet. Under a minute to play and a full timeout. And we have this will be the replay of, look at Crawford just stepping in rhythm, squared his shoulders, hand in his face, but doesn't matter. Knocks it down from the top of the key, and a quick timeout from the coaching staff. Heads up play by Miller as well. You know, Miller brought that into the front court, dribbled into the wing, drew the defense, and then hit Crawford on the trailer. Crawford now with 21. He and Rick Hodum have been the big scorers. Both of them have 21. I was trying to do the math here. Hodum with 21, Crawford with 21. But the more important number is 48-46. That is your score. Kossuth with a 2-point advantage and the basketball, 40 seconds to play. The Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic in Corinth, Mississippi, and that is not what Mount Pleasant wanted to do. I chuckle at Coach Derek Boyd for Mount Pleasant. One guy, he didn't want them to foul. He ends up drawing the foul. Rick Hodum to the line for the 1-and-1. This first free throw is key. He's got it. No rim needed. He gets them both. Timeout, Kossuth. And they want a 30-second timeout. That's enough time for us to get some sponsors in here. We've seen these sponsors several times, but we got to thank them for making this possible. We want to thank Powerade, the Hampton Inn, Physicians Urgent Care in Corinth, Mississippi, and Crossover. This is a very, very cool event. You know, we've got 14 games jam-packed into 2 days here, and the hype and scouts and coaches around the games will build as the night goes on. Keep in mind you have Corinth, the Warriors, playing on their home court in the middle of each night. They play at 5 o'clock tonight, 6:30 tomorrow night. That'll get the gym rocking. After Corinth tonight, you'll have Lee versus Provine, and then Callaway versus Madison Prep. It's going to be a really interesting night of basketball. Some athleticism on display for sure. 50-46. Mount Pleasant needs a bucket. Crawford makes a difficult catch. Dribbles, kicks it out to Rogers for three. Front iron, no good. Rebound, Kossuth working it around. They got the ball in the hands of Hodum. Run out for Wilcher. He lays it up and in. 52-46, a two-possession game. Crawford needs to pull up for three. Instead, he's kicking it over to Brown for three. He got it. Timeout, Mount Pleasant. Lorenzo Brown. I wouldn't have guessed that he's a three-point shooter. He's a 6'3", wide-bodied sophomore. He's a banger down low, and he just pulled up for three, doing his best J.J. Redick, I guess. I don't know what that was, but that was bottoms. This is a good-looking shot. And a 5-point night for Brown. A 3-point advantage for Kossuth. And I believe we're under 20 seconds to play. We have, during timeouts, they run the timeout clock on the board, and that doesn't help us out any because you forget how much time is left. Around 20 seconds to play. I'll get you that number here in just a second. So Mount Pleasant has no choice but to foul. This will be the cat and mouse game. Kossuth Kossuth wants to get the ball to Rick Hodum. He's their free throw shooter. I'm way off on the time. There's 7.1 seconds. Kossuth wants Rick Hodum with the ball. Mount Pleasant wants to foul anybody but Hodum. And Hodum's the inbounder. Interesting. Here is Wilcher. Pass deflected. Loose ball on the floor. Guess who picks it up? It's Hodum. He gives it up. Wilcher's going to get a layup, but it's not going to matter. The basket does not count. Kossuth plays keep away and wins this game by 3. 52-49 over Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant's first game of the year is a loss. They go down. Their record now would be 0-1. Kossuth improves to 5-1. And we've got a replay from our production staff here, SUVtv. It should be something you've seen over and over again in this game, and that's Rick Hodum. Notice how quick his release is. He gets that off before defenders can close in, and that was the result. More often than not, he is the most valuable player in this game. He's going to finish with 23 points, 5 threes from downtown. A great night for Rick Hodum, and a good display by Kossuth. You know, they got in a dogfight. It was a very close game. They executed down the stretch, and they beat a very good Mount Pleasant team playing in their first game of the year, but Mount Pleasant looked good as well. Good defense, holding Kossuth to under their average points per game. And so that was a fun one, a close game, and there's more action to come on deck. It'll be Shannon High School from right here in Mississippi versus Marshall Academy, another Mississippi school. We'll get you information on those two schools and some scouting on them. We'll tell you about some of their key players. Going to start seeing some prospects roll in here with some scouts in the building. And then as the night goes on, you'll see a who's who among college basketball coaches roll in here to scout some players. We'll be back with more of the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic. Don't go anywhere. More action to come. This broadcast is powered by SUVtv.